Hi, today we're going to build our own AI SaaS application using Elon Musk's xAI API. Now, I've been all across Twitter and everybody has been telling me that it's the best AI in the market, it's as smart as nothing else. And today we want to do the test for ourselves. And I just saw his post and he's been saying the API was just released. I mean, I looked at their dashboard, it looks very MVP-ish. But I like it because they use xAI UI. But the cool thing is to know that the same theme library that they are using is the same one I use for some projects. So that's also cool. I like xAI UI. It's the best, when you do it Next.js. But today we're going to make it no code inside of Toddle, which is even better than Next.js because no code is always better. So let's get right started. And also, good news, if you sign up right now for xAI, you get a $25 voucher or $25 credit towards your first API calls. The moment you sign up, you don't have to put your credit card number in, you just get it the moment you sign up. Pretty cool, right? So let's get right started. So now we want to go to x.ai, and now I already created my account, and as you can see, they use xAI UI. I can see this from a mile away. That's pretty cool. But now we want to go on create an API key. And now I created my API key for xAI. Now we want to, set this up first with our server. Now, in this example, my server is Xano. So let's go to Xano.com. We will log into our account, and I'm just going to create an API as a proxy so that our API calls, more importantly, our API key is not exposed on the front end. So we just create an API group here, and I call that xAI. Here you go. Elon. So I know that, what it is. Here you go. So we got that. We create an API group. Now, the next step is I want to clone this tab, and inside of Xano, we want to go into settings, and we want to go to our environment variables. And inside of here, I create a new variable called xAI. And inside of the value, I go back to xAI. I'll copy my API key, so you can see right inside of here, and I'm going to paste it inside of here. I'll save it, and I got it stored securely now inside of Xano. So now we want to look at their documentation and, look at the things that we can do with it. Let's see. They got multiple models. They got Grok Beta, and here you go. Can we click on the model? Compare performance to Grok 2, but with improved efficiency, speed, and capabilities. That looks cool. So what we want to do is we want to probably look at integrations or endpoints. No, that's JavaScript. We don't need that. This seems very insecure because it's your API key inside of here. I mean, if you do server-side stuff, then it makes sense. So we want to go to integrations here. We probably want to go first to the introduction part here, right? So the introduction, here you go. We got all that stuff. We got the curl inside of here. Making requests. We'll send our API key in here. That's the curl command. We got the stream. We won't do stream in this example. And then you have the system prompt, and then you have the user question. That's pretty cool. Let's copy this curl command, and now we go back to Xano inside of our API group, create a new API endpoint. We make a custom endpoint. It'll be a post endpoint, and we call this keywords. Or no, actually, let's give Elon an honor. We'll make an XPost generator. Here you go. Not keywords. We make an XPost generator. So let's call this endpoint post. And we'll save that. Fun, because it's also a post request. Look at that. Here you go. Then I add my input inside of here, and I go inside of this. I make a text. So on that input, the input type is text, and I'll call that input of text inside of here. This will be prompt. Just like that, we're going to add the input inside of here, and then I'm going to add a function in here, right? I'm going to add an external API request. external API request. Here you go. Now we go and import the curl, and we'll paste the copied curl command inside of here. We'll click on import, and because it works with Xano, sometimes it doesn't work. They did a great job in making sure that their curl is properly formatted. I have a good feeling that this API will be the best API that we've ever used on this YouTube channel for AI, because I've heard so much great things about it. So, now we have the API key down here. We need to replace this dynamically with our own API key that we have in our environment variable where it is secure, right? So we want to go inside of here, and now Xano turns this to an expression. We need to click on here to turn it back. I'll delete this here, and I just add tokenized text for API key. So you just do curly brace and you write API key inside of here. We'll copy that. We'll update that, and we probably want to make this 27 seconds. I have no idea how fast it is, but we'll see how fast it is, right? So we got that inside of here. So we have, the API key in here. What we now need to do is we need to copy this. We add a filter of replace. We'll search for the API key inside of here. Now the replacement will be our environment variable that will be all the way down here for xAI. That is the API key. Now we got those settings here. We got the content, right? We have the role for the user. This we need to click inside of here on the content part, delete the value that's hard-coded, and make it work with a dynamic prompt input. We'll update that. And now inside of here, your Grok, a chatbot inspired by, here you go. We want to update that. Let's say you are, how shall we call that? Elon AI, and you are Elon AI, a chat, a tool, here you go, a tool helping people generate amazing, viral, and a bit controversial Twitter posts. Here you go. Oh God, I just better type it again. A bit controversial. Here you go. A bit it's hard to write this now with this one line that I can't really see. Here you go. That's better. You are Elon AI, a tool helping people generate amazing, viral, and a bit controversial Twitter post. And let's say you only output the Twitter post with viral hashtags. And actually, it probably knows it as X. I still have Twitter in there, but it's X. Let's say Twitter. Here you go. We'll put like Twitter in here. Your Elon AI helping people generate amazing, viral, and a bit controversial X Twitter posts. You only output the X Twitter post with viral. You only output the X Twitter post itself and add viral hashtags into it. Here you go. We'll save that. We'll update this. This is like the system prompt, and that should be good. We should be able to call this API now. We'll save this. We'll call this xAI underscore API. Underscore API. So we have a value for it, right? Under here, we'll add a stop and debug so that we can see the response that it gets us. So let's make the prompt. Let's say, why I use Toddle over Next.js. Here you go. Let's see what wow, that's quick. This is no way. You saw how, you see like how, like this is as fast. If I hope this is not an error. Did it? No way. That's so fast. No way. Look at this. Look at all this content. And it's less than 2 seconds. Like, this is how long ChatGPT takes to even start streaming. Like, I'm blown away. This is amazing. Here's why I choose Toddle over Next.js. Simplicity. Toddle's learning curve is like a gentle hill, not a mountain, like Next.js. Performance. Toddle's out-of-box optimizations make it faster than a SpaceX rocket. It also has the X in there. Community, smaller, but more focused and less drama than Next.js community. That is really, 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 really good. I love it. Now, we don't want to return the API key that gets responded here from making a HTTP request. So we copy the response, and under here, we just create a variable, and we call this response. We'll go on the value, we go on x_API, we go on the subpath, we'll paste our payload in here, click on define. That is like a simple, cool tool that Xano has to help us define the subpath. So we go on result, we go on choices, we go on message here. It's super cool. And then we go on content, and that's how we get like that response here, right? So now let's add the stop and debug on response. Let's run this again. Wow, it's super fast. I should say though, like, it does do the rich text. Let's say no rich text in the prompt, but it's super quick. Like, this is so fast. This is amazing. Like, you don't even need streaming. If you add streaming, it's even faster. It's like a SpaceX rocket. He's right. Let's say no bold text or cursive or other formatting, please. Formatting, please. Here you go. Let's save that. Update, save. Let's run that again. That's so fast. 2 seconds. Oh, it still does it. That's not bad. It still gives us those. You see what we do? We just copy those asterisks, and we go in here, right? And we add a filter of replace. We'll replace those asterisks with nothing. We'll update that, and now we got rid of all the asterisks here. Here you go. Look at that. Even if the AI sometimes outputs something funky, we'll just remove it. We could also add another replace filter in case it does something cursive, right? Where we have like one asterisk. We just also look for one asterisk and replace it with nothing. That should do a good thing. Here you go. Look at that. That's how we get rid of the asterisks. Here you go. And it's super fast. This is like 1.4 seconds. This is the fastest AI API I've ever seen. So now we want to go to the response here. We click on the response, and we return the response variable. So we don't return our API key again. We'll publish this now. Let's try this out. Really cool. Let's see. Does it have access to the internet? Let's say election. Oh, let's hope I don't get demonetized here. But let's see. Just imagine if we had an election where candidates were AI bots. Oh, that's actually good. It does, and it did 2024, which is cool. AI for president, viral politics. I like that it's not that polarizing than I thought it would be. That's good. So, because this is going to be on YouTube. So that's great. So let's see if we try that again. Yeah. I like the way it goes. Just imagine if we had an election where the candidates were AI bots, not just... Okay, here you go. I like that. Beautiful. So this is working great. Now we want to connect that with our front end. Here you go. Let's copy the endpoint URL. Let's go on Toddle, And now inside of Toddle here, which is kind of like Next.js, but a little bit more visual, right? We'll click outside of it. We go on APIs. We'll create a new API. We'll paste that API URL inside of here for our proxy. We'll continue, right? Now, you want to make sure with more authentication and all that stuff, but, you know, this is just something we want to have public here on the website. And, you know, we got $25 for free from Elon, so thank you so much, Elon. So, you know, we can spell with that. We don't need to be too tight today on security. And let's call that xAI. Here you go. And then we need to have we need to set our parameter, you know, where we have the parameter called prompt. So we add our query parameter here for prompt, right? We'll enter that, and then we get the value. So you can see we got the prompt inside of here, right? Now we got that. Now if I say, for example, Elon's new rocket launcher. Here you go. And now we need to make this method here a post request because we're posting. If I now were to run this here, you see it's lightning fast. And we got the post in less than, in 1.2 seconds. This is so fast, I can't believe it. That's amazing. Let's exit out of this. So now we got the whole technology basically working. Now we just want to do a nice interface for this. So let's go in here. We'll start this out how we always do it in here. Let's start by adding a form. Here you go. We'll add a form component. Now for this form, we'll make it 100% width, and let's just give it a height of 25 rem for now. Now I go to that parent. We give it a side padding of 2 rem, top and bottom padding of 2 rem as well. Here you go. And now we do a maximum width of 25 rem. There you have it. And now inside of here, we can just build the form where people would put in their prompt. So in here, let's give that form a 0.5 rem side padding and 0.5 rem top and bottom padding for now. And now inside of here, inside of the form, we go on plus. We'll add a text area inside of here. We'll make that text area with the 100%. Here you go. And then we'll do height, I think auto. And let's see, how do we make the growing text area again? Actually, that's something I should ask Elon's AI. We have the console, right? Let's see. Where's the console? Do we have a console in here? I think we have a console, right? Did I spend all my money already? No. Oh, wow, that's so cheap. Look at that. Wow. That's really cool. Look how cheap that is. That's amazing. Let's go in here. Let's see. I think they do have a console, right? View models, right? They said somewhere something about console. Let's see. If not, we'll just figure it out ourselves. But I think they had a console, right? Personal team? No. Maybe they don't have it yet. I mean, it's public beta. But yeah, so let's see. How did we do it in text area again? I think we have it was like colds one or something. And then it was rows 1. Was it something like this where you can, no, we don't need to have a growing text area. We could also, you know, have some other hacks in there. We just do it like this. We'll take the text area. We'll give it a height of, let's do 7 rem. Here you go. Now we got the background here. We'll make that gray 50. See, like we have this nice highlighting here. And then we take the text color. We'll make that gray 700. We'll give it a side padding of 0.75 rem and a top and bottom padding of 0.75 rem as well. Beautiful. And now we'll add, you know, like the placeholder here. Let's say E.g. Oh, no. E.g. Here you go. What should we put in there as an example? Let's say Elon's new rocket launcher. you go. Elon's new rocket launcher. Oh, here you go. So we got Elon's new rocket launcher. And then we go in here. We currently have like this funky resizable thing that does this, right? So in CSS, we want to go inside of here, go on styling. I mean, I did forget the CSS to make it automatically adjust, but you know, AI is making our brain go a little bit softer than usual. But I did not forget the resize. It's resize none. Here you go. We'll do CSS resize none. We'll close that. And now here you go. We got resize none. And then, you know, it just scrolls down. We could also remove the scroll bar. So I could go to CSS and I could add scroll bar minus width none. We do with a double L. Scroll bar width none. Here you go. That should remove it. Here you go. So I love that. I forgot all the other CSS. You know, like I still know all the CSS, but I forgot the one to make it adjust. Great. But looks good and it works. Here you go. Example. Here you go. Elon's new rocket launcher. Let's actually remove the EG. Let's just put it like this. Elon's new rocket launcher. Here you go. It looks nicer. Beautiful. So we put our prompt in here and then we add a div. Sorry, not a div. We go in here and we add a button. There you have it. We'll take that button. We'll make it width 100%. Then we'll make height 3 rem. And then we center it. And then we go inside of here. And I want to give it a border of 8 pixels. And then we go with the background. And the background inside of here will be, you know, we'll make a similar color to what they have. So let's make that gray 900, right? We'll add a shadow. Here you go. We'll move it a little bit down. We'll make that 13. There you have it. Beautiful. Look at that. Now inside of here, we say call grok. There you go. Or let's say call Elon AI. There you have it. Now, let's see. Let's go to something like Realum icons, like a nice SVG icon library. Let's look for X, the X logo. Or I think I have to type Twitter. Ah, they don't have X. Unbelievable. Let's look for play. For like a play button or something. Yeah. Or maybe let's look at another one. I would like to have the X icon. X Twitter SVG icon. Let's see. Let's get one. Twitter X. Let's see. Bootstrap has it. Here you go. Oh, you could also add it as a font, but let's do the HTML. Here you go. That's the X. Now we'll go in here. I want the X in here. Beautiful. We can make it go on the site. We can make it 0.5 rem. There you have it. Call Elon AI. Here you go. Or actually, we should probably say it generate post. Here you go. Generate post. Beautiful. Now we got that working. We got that inside of here. Looks great. We can remove, by the way, now the fixed height. There you have it. Now we want to add a loader. I know we don't need a loader because it's so lightning fast, but let's just add a loader. We'll add CSS loaders from GitHub. We'll copy the CSS loader here. We'll copy the span. So we go in that button. We'll paste the span in the button instead of the span. We'll add a style tag to write custom CSS inside of here. Instead of the text, we write the CSS. So we copy their CSS. We paste it inside of here. And then I want to look at the dimension of this SVG. That's 16. So we go to this loader here inside of the CSS, and we make this 16 pixels by 16 pixels. And then we'll make this 2 pixels border. We'll remove the color on it. And then we got that beautifully working. Look at that. Here you go. So now we got that part working. We now want to connect it with the API and first of all set the visibility of the loader. So this loader inside of here, right, the span, we need to set the visibility using show. We go on the formula, We go on xAPI, we go is loading. And now it's only being shown if it's loading. We need to do the same thing with actually this part here. So let's go inside of this text here. Oh, this text here. On this text, we can make show, and we only show this text here if xAI is loading, not if it's not loading. Here you go. We want to do the same thing with this SVG icon. This SVG icon should also only be visible using show if xAI is not loading. Here you go. Beautiful. Now, when I type inside of here, let's say election, for example, right? I have no way to access that. Like there's no variable in here, no data, where I could just, like put this in this parameter dynamically. What we need to do is we need to create a variable, right? We create a variable and we call that prompt. Initial value, we'll delete the initial value. We close that. Now we got the variable. Now we go on the text area. We bind to variable. We click on the prompt. Now if I say space X, right? And I look at my variable, here you go. It says space X. There you have it. Now I need to go to the API. I need to go to parameter. I'll delete this one in here. I go to the prompt. I go on FX. I click inside of here and I bind it to the variable of prompt that contains that inside of here. Let's exit that. And now if I type space X inside of here, if we look at the API, it contains it inside of here. Now we just need to trigger the API call on form submit. So let's go to this form inside of here. And yeah, I like that. We can remove actually the border of that. There you have it. And we got that in here. Now we want to look for the event. We go to events and we go to form and we look for the submit event on the form. Now it automatically adds prevent default. We want to keep that. Under here, I want to call the API. Here you go. So now, as you can see, if I reload the page inside of here, this is now calling the API. We're not showing the response nicely yet, but we'll do that after this. So now, as you can see, if I do space X and I click on here, it's loading. And now, if we look at the API response, we see it did a Twitter post about SpaceX, as you can see. Now, we're not showing it on the interface yet, and that's something we got to work on. So now I want to go inside of the form, and inside of the form, I want to go in here and I want to add a div. And this div will just give it an attribute and we'll just say response holder, just so that we know what this is. Here you go. We got the response holder inside of here. Here you go. Also, this form doesn't have any padding, which is weird. So let's give it, or any gap, let's give it 0.5 rem gap. Yeah, that looks nicer. Here you go. Now we got this inside of here, this response holder, and I go inside of here in this response holder and I add my div. I'll make that div width 100%. I'll give it 0.5 rem and 0.5 rem padding around all sides. Inside of here, we'll add a text. Here you go. And now I double click in that text. I go on FX, right? And I go inside of here and I go on variables and I go to APIs. Actually, not variables. I go to APIs. I go to data. And then we have the response for the post inside of here. Just like that. Now, we want to make it a little bit nicer. So what we want to do actually in this div, we want to call this response, right? And I want to give it more padding. Let's actually give it 0.75 rem by 0.75 rem top and bottom side padding in here. Now we go with the background. Background can be gray 50. We can give it a border of 8 pixels. There you have it. And it should be behind this button because I like the shadow of the button. So let's go in here. Let's do placement of this button, z-index 99. So you see like the shadow of the button kind of like goes belong there. That looks really cool. So we got this response holder inside of here. What we now want to do is we want to go in here. We want to make the text size maybe 14 pixels, right? And we may want to add the weight of that to be 400, or maybe, let's see. It should inherit, right? We should make that, let's see if we would do 300. It doesn't inherit it for some reason. So let's go inside of here and let's add the weight in here, 400. Here you go. That will, inherit that weight. Beautiful. So now we got that working and we got the post generated down here. What we could now do is we could just add a button inside of here. Let's go on button. We'll add a button inside of this response holder. We'll give it a gap of 0.5 rem. And now we go on the button. Inside of this button, we'll just make it, I don't know, like blue, maybe like a light blue. Let's see. Let's make it like blue 50. Here you go. And then we'll go in with the text. We'll make that text like blue 700. And we'll say copy Twitter. Not Twitter, copy post. Here you go. We'll have copy post. We'll wrap this in an element. Actually, let's call this share on X. Let's see. We got share on X. And actually, I want to take the X. Here you go. Let's put share on X. Yeah. We'll delete that. Here you go. We'll make this go to the side. Yeah. We'll make that centered. And we'll take that in here and we'll make this like 13 pixels by 13 pixels. Here you go. Now I want it top and bottom padding 0.35 rem and side padding 0.55 rem or 0.5 rem. Here you go. Now I got share on X. I want to remove hover on both. I don't like hovers. Or actually, we can make a nicer hover. Let's make that hover gray 800, right? So yeah, that's a nice hover. And then inside of here, that hover will just, make it go, for example, blue 100, right? So it's like a subtle hover. And we just resubmitted the form because we have two buttons in the form. So we need to go on this button here. We need to give it an attribute of attribute, type, submit. In HTML, if we have a type submit attribute, that will submit the form. Now, if we have another button in the form, we need to give it an attribute of type button. Now, if I click on here, right, you see it doesn't submit the form. I could also, for example, make one reset as an example. And if I were to click on reset, it would reset that form as an example. But this should be button, right? So we have share on X. I should probably wrap in an element, or actually, we could make this wrap in an element, but I'm not sure if we should. There are nicer ways how we can do that. But let's actually wrap an element. Let's take a div in here because I just want to add like a reset button here. We could go on button, but it is bound to a variable. I don't think we need a reset button. Let's go back because, like we have we have a reactive approach, right? We could just clear the variable, but it's good to know. So we got a super nice UI, beautifully working inside of here, doing a great job. Now I want to animate this. So what we need to do is we need to create a variable here. We'll call that variable show response. Here you go, show response. The default is false. Show response false, right? And then I go to this response holder here, and let's keep in mind this form here has 0.5 rem gap. So I go to this response holder and I create under attributes a new CSS class for it called hidden. Just like that. We're not making it conditional yet, but I just add the hidden class. Now I go on styling. I create a new style. I create a style for the hidden class. We'll check that one. And now what I want to do is I want to make sure this is aligned to the top, right? I now have I need to animate the height. So, but I don't know the height of this one, right? So we can't animate from auto to any specific height. What we need to do, this one will have a max height of 999 pixels, and then we'll animate it down to 0 pixels, right? And then the only important thing is that we consider, so we don't see it, is that the default height inside of here will be layout, clip, clip. That way, we have that animation. Now with this one, we also want to make the opacity 0 so it blurs it out. And we need to move this a little bit up because you see, we got this gap which I don't like. So we go on placement, we go on the top margin, we'll make minus 0.5 rem because this is going to neutralize the gap that we added to it. And now you see it's directly with the button. Now, to have a nicer, more professional fade out animation, I could also go on placement and make this -1. So it also moves to the back so there's no overflow when we transition to that. So now I can go to the default state, scroll down, go on transition, transition for all elements, 300 milliseconds. Now if I copy the hidden class and remove it, we can see the animation beautifully working. Look at that. That is the animation that we just built. Here you go. Nice. Let's go on class. Let's put the hidden class on here, right? Because we have a style for it. Now I need to go on fx. I can make it conditional. We'll make it conditional if show response equals false. That's true, so it's hidden. Beautiful. So now what we want to do inside of here is we want to go inside of the form, right? And inside of this form here, on submit of the form, right, we want to make show response false. That is the default state. So if we already have it open, we would close it, right? We'll make it false. But then on success of the form, I would go inside of here and I would make it, I would set the show response, I would make it true. Let's see if that works. Let's go in here. Let's add Rocket, Elon, Dogecoin. We'll generate a post. It's loading. And now we got the post. Now I want this to be shareable on X. And then I can regenerate the post. You see it removes it. And we got a new post. See this? Right here. Isn't that beautiful? With a nice animation. Fully no code. Now, the way we can share that is I can go to this button here, right? And I can go to this button. And I can go on the event. I can go here on click of this button. And I add the native share, right? And I can go URL to share. I don't have that. Text to share, title to share. I think it would be the title, or it would be actually text. Let's go on FX. Here you go. And then we go to bind this to the API, to the data, and then we can share the data. So if I were to click on here, it should open the native share dialog. On click, share. Let's see. Let's open that somewhere else. Maybe it doesn't work. Let's open it in the browser here. Let's generate something. Let's say monkey coin. Generate post. It is loading, generating a post. Nice animation. It nicely animates in. Share on X. Here you go. And we get the native social share, right? And I got plain text, and then I can share this. And if you were to do this on your mobile device, it would open it with Twitter, as you can see, right? So then, I can share it with Damien and whoever, all that stuff. I can share my expos, and I can, then also copy them and all that stuff. Maybe we want to also add copy to clipboard. So I actually take this button, I'll wrap it in an element, that's a div. I'll copy that button, put it in the div, go to the div, make it go to the site. We'll make 0.5 rem, and then I make this copy to clipboard. Here you go. We'll remove the SVG, and we also have the option for copy to clipboard. For that, we may want to make the background gray 100, and we want to make the text color gray 600 as an example here, right? And then I can just go on the hover, and I could make this, for example, go then to, oh, that's pretty dark, to gray. No, I don't like that one. Let's make a custom one for that. Yeah, let's go here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that looks nice. Or how about we make the copy to clipboard, like gray 50, and then we go to gray 100, right? So we go in here, we make that gray 50, and then we'll make this one gray 100, right? Yeah, that looks nice. Here you go. Look at that. Now we need to make the copy to clipboard work, so I go on this button here, and I go on click, I remove the share, and I go in here to copy to clipboard, I go on FX, I'll take this from the API response, I go to data, and then I'll copy that to the clipboard. And that is how we make a xAI, AI Twitter post, X post generator. Let's make this Dogecoin will be the new US currency. Dogecoin will be the new US currency. Generate post. It's loading. Nice animation. And it's a just announced Dogecoin to replace US dollar as the official currency of the USA. Dogecoin to the moon. New currency. Elon Musk. Like that. You can copy it to the clipboard, right? Paste it beautifully in here. I can share it. Here you go. We got the native share API. And there you have it. That's how we make a native, not native, but that's how we use Twitter's API, or X. God, it's still Twitter. No, it's X. X sounds way cooler, way better. It's not Twitter, it's X. It's the best. This is how we use X's new xAI, Elon's new xAI, to build a little, micro SaaS without writing much code. We did a little bit, but without writing much code. And if you want to learn more about this, if you want to build your own AI SaaS, with low-code tools such as Xano, such as Toddle, right? You want to look into, let me type that in here, NoCodeProCode.com. It's the best place to learn and build faster in Toddle and Xano and get your idea to reality. You don't need to have much knowledge in, technology. If you know what we're talking about in here, you got enough knowledge to get started with that. And we got great stuff. We got great boilerplates for pre-made AI SaaS, pre-made web applications that are understandable with hours and hours of courses. I just uploaded a new course that's 32 hours, about 32 hours, 32 hours, yes. About how you can make like your own SaaS that's like Linktree, where people can create their own pages and connect it with their own custom domains and all that kind of stuff. And, then we have another one to make an AI logo generator, right? With a whole template, how you can take text compliant payments using Lemon Squeezy, how you make it secure, how you work with signing signatures to make sure that nobody sends malicious webhooks to your server, all that stuff. We got that all in there, all no code, low code-ish approach. And then we have a whole component library to help you build faster. We have components for file uploaders, which are a nightmare to work with, if you know what I'm talking about. We got components for Stripe elements. We got components for audio recorders. We got components for really everything that you would need. And we also have daily support office hours, where if you have a question about something or if you're stuck at something, we got daily meetings from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. PST, PDT, and we'll meet together and we'll help you fix your stuff. And then we also have pre-made Xano snippets, so your database structure, your backend logic is all pre-made, and we got exclusive tutorials as well to help you with that. And, everybody loves it, from agency owner to developer. Everybody loves it, and it's also made for entrepreneurs. If you have no idea what you're doing, but you want to do this thing, it's also intended to be understandable for visionaries who may not have the technical skills yet. We'll help you get them. And freelancers love it too. Leonard shipped this app 50% faster. But let me actually show you how it looks on the inside. Let's go to help.nocodeprocode.com. So inside of here, you see, in the main feed page here, you got all those courses. I love that with the laser. How to make dynamic layouts, right? So you can have people can style their own dashboard and all that using a JSON file that you use with style variables, right, in CSS. How you build an icon API, how to add Lemon Squeezy elements natively inside of your SaaS, how to use, have some documentation written down together, how to make a headless Shopify store, what APIs to use. Then we got the recording of our office hours here, right? They're all transcribed by AI. I'll be moving to Elon Musk's AI now because it's way better, right? Then we have like courses on how to make an auth modal, and all that kind of stuff. How to send OTP emails, right? To verify that on your server. How to add sign in with Google. Then we got like a whole boilerplate that I'm still working on. Right, we got the daily office hours. We got templates for light and dark mode here. We got like more office hours. We got templates for like, simulating clicks on the DOM. Like we also got a nice template here 5 days ago, 3 days ago, based on timestamps when they were posted for Unix timestamps. And, then we got a bunch of cool stuff in here. We got like a thing where if you want to build something like Twitter, for example, or like X, damn it, it's not Twitter, it's X. If you want to build something like X, but everybody has their page connected to a custom domain, and you want to host 5 million custom domains, we got a framework that you can copy and run yourself on Cloudflare, open source for members, to do that, right? In case, then we got an audio recorder here, pre-made. We got like a document listener. If you need it, you know what I'm talking about. We got like some pre-made splice formulas for drag and drop and all that stuff. We got the office hours. That was Halloween. We got cool stuff. We got accordions, which are really a pain to animate. We got like a template here, HTML to PDF. We got so much stuff in here, but those are like all loose templates, right? We also got full templates. If I go to Toddle templates inside of here, that's the framework I like to use to move faster. No, tutorials, templates. Oh, there it is. If I go to premium Toddle templates, you see we have the tokens template, which is basically a whole pre-made SaaS, includes the front end in Toddle, includes like I think 30 API endpoints and dozens of backend logic and multiple databases all set up for you. You just need to replace your API keys. We got the resend authentication method for OTP and Magic Link and all that stuff already in there. We got Lemon Squeezy for payments already pre-set up and set up so it's secure. We're validating the signing signatures, all that stuff. Now, sadly, we're using Hyperbolic, not xAI, but I'll update that template to also make it work with xAI, and you can update that yourself, also today, right? But that shouldn't be much complicated. That's like one endpoint, right? And then we have it connected with AI, and you got like 20 plus hours of courses helping you understand how to set it up, not just cloning it, but also helping you understand how it was built so you can own your skills. That's very important to me. That's how I learned it, and I want you to learn it that way too. And then we got just super cool stuff in here. We got the hosts framework. We got so many templates here that help you move faster. We got like a whole rich text editor, which is natively fully customizable inside of Toddle, which was like something that took me a long time. We got like a no-code builder, drag and drop clone. We got Stripe donation. We got, Google Auth template. What's that? We got like a conditional rendering of elements here. We got like all that kind of stuff. We got a upload care plugin, a hamburger menu, which pretty pain to build yourself, and all that exciting stuff here. So if you want this and much more, I think we have over 150 hours of educational courses and recordings and tutorials in there. If you want to get access to all of that, and we'll add a few hours every day, go to nocodeprocode.com and, join today. And I can't wait to see you on the inside. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lot of fun with xAI. It truly is the best AI. We tested it today, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that, and I wish you a blessed day. Take care.